Cathy, I'm glad that you're here today, and I mean that sincerely. The timing is right. I mentioned Meatloaf earlier. We also lost Louie Anderson last week.
Yes.
Now, I did not know. I met Louie only one time in my life, maybe two at the most. I didn't really know him very well. But you were great friends with Louie.
Yeah, and especially my husband, Tom, was really good.
Oh, because he's from Minneapolis.
Yes. Oh, wow. So he had a history with him.
Okay.
And Tom took it really hard.
I would imagine. And by all accounts, and I want you to speak to this, by all accounts, a sweetheart of a man, a great person, a nice human being.
Very lovely. Really wonderful and so funny, and kind, and yeah, he was great. He really was. Oh, Tommy, yeah. We sent him this great New Yorker cartoon with this old woman, kind of chunky woman in a house coat lying on the floor, and she goes, she says, She says, I've fallen and my son is a disappointment. And she just looked so much like Christine Baskets that we sent it to Louie. Mm-hmm. And he always called Tom Tommy. Oh, Tommy, that's great. That's great.
I remember my mom and stepdad just watching him on on television and just laughing like her. They loved him. They loved Louie Anderson.
Louie almost bought my car that I won on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, really?
Actually.
Look at how it ties back in.
Oh. I didn't even do that wittingly.
So you won a car, and Louie Anderson wanted to buy it.
Yeah, he almost was going to buy it for his mother because his mother liked big cars, but it ended up not working out.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 1985 Oldsmobile Tornado. So it was a huge car.
A big car.
That's before they changed the body. Huge car, 2-door coupe. You have to walk so many feet to get to the door handle, and then walk all the way back to open the door, and then walk back to get in, and hope that somebody passed by to close the door. It was a ridiculous car. I knew that I couldn't keep that car, so I just ended up selling it back to the dealership.
Let me ask you a question, because first of all, it sounds like you won. Secondly, I always thought, like they would say, you want a brand new car, but the reality is you didn't get that car. You got either a check or a credit for a dealership, and you went to go. But
no, I got an Oldsmobile Tornado. I definitely got the Tornado. I didn't get it that day, but when the show aired, I won it in at the end of June or July, and the show aired in November. And so then they contact you and they tell you that your prizes are coming. And I won lamps, a stereo, china, and I didn't have any credit left over.
So this is back in the old days where you went shopping.
Oh,
right, you went shopping.
And was that still Sajak, or was it Chuck Woolery?
It was Sajak.
Sajak.
Chuck Woolery did the daytime version, I believe, and Pat Sajak did the nighttime. And then I won, and I got to go to the whatever you call it.
The final.
thing.
Let me ask you a question. Did you say 86? Is that when you were on there?
85.
85. So that was before, because we just had a way too long conversation about Women of the Night.
Yes.
That series of specials.
Yes. I wasn't on the TV special.
Yes, I know that. And we talked about it on this show, and I looked the fool.
Jimmy went crazy because he's like, I swear Cathy was on it.
I did the album.
You're on the Rhino record.
Yes.
With Paula and Diane Ford.
Ford, right. And the other thing that was taped that same time was the political album with Jimmy
Crimmins.
Tingle, Barry Crimmins.
Oh.
Was it Randy Credico, maybe?
Yes, Randy Credico, who then went on to be nuts with...
went on to be nuts.
What's his name? Who's our guy? Who's our guy? He looks like a Batman villain.
Roger Stone?
Roger Stone,
yeah.
Right.
Credico's part of his... In fact, had to go to the grand jury or something. And
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was surreal.
And then it was Tingle, Crimmins, Credico. Is there a fourth, or is it just the three of them?
I can't. I thought there was a fourth,
I
can't.
There was a lot of funny on that. Both those albums were really funny.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was fun doing it. And but I was not on the anyway. But you brought it up for a different reason. I don't know why.
I brought it up for this. Was it so? That was
so. You were before. Had you ever been on TV doing stand up at that point?
Yes.
So you'd already done stand up on television, and then
small. Had I done TV?
I don't know.
No, right when actually, local stuff I had done, I think. But when I moved to L.A. and I was working at the Comedy Store, George Schlatter was doing this show called Funny, and it was a special, and the Women of the Comedy Store was a segment of the show.
Okay.
And I wasn't in it because I was new. And then Mitzi said, "Oh, come on, I want you to be in it." and fantastic. So, and that's how Roseanne was discovered by Jim McCauley during a rehearsal one afternoon in the main room.
Oh.
Because Maureen, what's her name? Maureen
McCormick from Brady Bunch?
No, Maureen Murphy. I know. Maureen Dowd was there. She was on the show with us. It was weird.
Very funny. But funny. Pulled her weight.
I'm sure she killed.
I don't know
Maureen Murphy was one of the first modern women to be on The Tonight Show.
I don't know that name.
She's Australian, I believe. Anyway, she told Jim McCauley to come down and check out Roseanne. And he sat in the back and in the dark in the main room, and we're doing a rehearsal, and Roseanne was unknown, and so we have a break. We all go to the kitchen to get beverages, and Jim walks over to Roseanne and says, I'd like you to call me up on Monday, whatever, I want you to do the show. And she's looking at him like she doesn't know who he is, and he hands her his business card, and she sees Jim McCauley, The Tonight Show, and we hear her run screaming down that hallway into the back parking lot, and we go after her. What is it? And she's jumping up and down. I'm going to do The Tonight Show. I'm going to do The Tonight Show. And Karen Haber and I went to see her. We sat in the audience that night, and it was amazing.
That's great.
It was amazing.
Awesome.
And she disappeared. She finished her act. She spun on her heel and went right back through the curtain. She did not want to be out there.
Really?
Wow.
She wanted to finish and get back behind there. And Engelbert Humperdinck was a guest on the show, and she ended up opening for him
Really?
after that.
Oh, my God.
And it was just that she was discovered.
Yeah.
She was
And you were
discovered.
there for all of it.
I was there for all of it.
You were friends with Roseanne.
Well, I was friendly with Roseanne, yes, and then I wrote on her show later
right.
for I was going to say for a semester.
To hear the whole conversation, subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit nevernotfunny.com.